Welcome to the Run Your Day podcast, where our goal is to expand your focus and perspective on life. This is your daily dose of motivation, mindfulness, and so much more. And now, here to help you take your day back, your host, Dan Hafner.
Welcome into another episode of the Run Your Day podcast, everyone. Good morning. My name is Dan Hafner. Welcome in, my friends. Today's episode is this. What a weird position. As always, thank you all for joining. Really appreciate you guys coming on here today. So we're going to talk about positioning. Had a couple situations kind of happen over the past couple days that I kind of wanted to come on here and share with you guys because I think it's a really it's a good lesson to learn. I was approached in my job and in the business that I've started a couple different ways, and just asked by someone like, what is your position? Like, what is your value proposition? Your unique, like, what is the unique offer that you present to the marketplace? And right off the bat, I was a bit embarrassed because I didn't really know. Like, I really was caught off guard and was like, well, hold on, let me get back to you on that, right? And it's crazy how you can have these ideas in your head. You can go about your day doing like different things, doing a whole bunch of things that like make sense to you in your mind. As like, yeah, this is why it's true. This is why I do this, right? And it ends up just kind of being a story, and you end up being in a weird position because you're just kind of defaulting through the day, going about your business, doing things that don't really make sense after a while. You know what I mean? So what I mean by the title of What a Weird Position is, what a weird position we all put ourselves in when we kind of just default into things this way, right? Like, we don't actually understand sometimes, why we truly got where we are and like where we're actually going. It can be, if you have this figured out and you're always on point with it, you're way ahead of the game, right? I think there's a lot of situations, whether it's in a, maybe it's in a relationship, maybe it's in a business or a job that you have, maybe it's in, a certain way that, a program you've joined or a church you go to or whatever it might be. Like you go and you do the things that you do every day because you've said this idea in your mind over and over and over, and it's become true for you. Like it's just become true like that. It's just that simple, right? So after a certain amount of time, it just becomes the truth for you, whether it's true or not. Like, that's the scary part, is like, whether it's true or not, whether it's valuable or not, you start to just believe the stories you tell yourself. So you can put yourself into awkward and weird situations and positions over time without even realizing it. And I've done this before. Like, I've done this many times before. I probably still do it to this day. Right? But when it comes to like figuring out a way out of that, it's tough. Like, it's tough. You kind of have to go back to the drawing board. You have to kind of sift through the different things, and you have to say, like, is this really true? What I'm asking myself, or what I'm telling myself, or what, reality appears to be. Like, is it really still true? Because the truth can change over time. Right? Like, the truth about, your fitness level, or your health, your relationship, or whatever it might be. Like, things can change over time. Like, life happens. The things that happen to us as we have plans for life is actually life. There's a quote about that. I can't remember exactly what it is off the top of my head, but like, life is the things that happen when you're trying to go about your regular plans for how things should go. And that's just part of it, right? That's just whole part of the entire experience that you and I face on a day-to-day basis, just living, Like, that's just the way it is. And I think that one of the main lessons I learned throughout all of this is, like, if you don't know your true position, you'll fall for anything. Like, you can become, it's so easy to get watered down and become anything and fall for anything by just not knowing your true position. So my question and my challenge for you on this is there an area of your life where you don't know your true position? You don't know your true stance on something? Compare it to a political stance. Like, do you not know what you truly do in your job? Do you not know what you truly should do in your relationships? Like, what role do you truly play as it compares to what you want in it and what someone else wants out of it, right? Like, this requires kind of taking a step back and, like, analyzing the entire situation from a perspective of truth and of being like, well, this stuff really doesn't kind of work anymore, or this really isn't necessarily true anymore. And it's tough. This can be really, really tough. But my challenge for you is to find an area of your life where this might be happening to you, and to take a step back and really ask yourself that one question of, like, is this still true? Does this still hold true for me? So that's my challenge for you today. So identify an area in your life where you're in a weird position and ask if it's still serving you and if it's still true. That's going to wrap up today's show. As always, thank you all for joining. Really, really appreciate you guys coming on here. I'll try to make a little bit of a shorter episode for you guys today. I know you guys like the commuting style ones, the short ones that are 5, 6, 7 minutes long. I like to keep those nice, short, and concise for you guys. So, as always, thank you all for joining. Dan Hafner. Make it a great rest of your day, my friends.
Thank you for listening to the Run Your Day podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, feel free to share today's show with friends and family. Until next time, have a great day.